What's up, everybody? This is my second attempt to do the self video. I am redoing this video because I feel like this is an important message for everybody out here, because everybody has to be in tune with themselves before they can be in tune with anybody else, before they can be in tune with their life, before they can be in tune with the universe. And a lot of people will laugh at me when they hear me talk about the universe, but the universe is a very real thing. I really feel like anything that you put out into the universe will solely come back to you. It will come back to you 10 times full. So, you always want to try to be able to control your train of thought, because as long as you're thinking positive things, positive will always come back to you. And you will never find yourself again sitting around wondering why things in your life are happening the way that they're happening, because you have created a positive space in your life, and you can only do that with yourself. You can only do that if you love yourself, if you respect yourself, if you know your worth, if you just have self-esteem, and if you know how to maintain the things within yourself, then you can become a perfect person, almost a perfect person. But you do have to have the willingness to want to be that way. You do have to have the willingness to want good self-esteem and stuff like that, because despite of what people might say about you, it's all about what you think about yourself. And you have to remember that when people are talking bad, you always have to know that you are not who they say you are. Because it's so easy for us to become who they say that we are, because you're already like, okay, well, they're already saying this about me, you know? So, I've had, from the time that I've done my last video, I've had a lot of time to reflect on more things that happen around me. I've encountered a couple of friends who that I spoke to on situations concerning their personal life. And me being me, with people reaching out to me and me seeing some of the things that people are actually fighting within themselves, it teaches me how to be humble. Because people really go through things and we don't know about it, because it's a thing out here that you don't want nobody to know your business, and nobody really should. Like, I feel like everybody should just stay in their lane, and you can't do that if you don't know yourself. So my heart goes out to everybody who has reached out to me in any way, shape, or form. Anything that I've done on a video for you, I meant what I said. I can only base my opinions off of the information that I have. And I never make it one-sided. I can't make it one-sided. You tell me your side of the story, I'm going to have questions, because my questions is going to ask you questions around certain situations. Did it happen? What was your response? What was the other person's response? That way I can see if the person has a reason to feel the way that they do. Because it's always two sides to a story. And I feel like both sides of the story tells the truth, because everybody say, well, her side, his side, and what God knows. But I feel like his side and her side is going to tell the truth, because whatever she tell you, and then he come back and tell you, he's going to tell you the stuff that she didn't. So that's where the puzzle's going to fit together, and you can always figure out what the truth is, and be like, shit, you both at fault. Because sometimes that's what it is. Both of y'all just need to shut up and learn how to talk to each other. So basically, I'm going to start off the self video with the definition of self. And it is a person's essential being that distinguishes them from others, especially considered as the object of introspection and reflective action. Meaning, you are you, I am me, she is her, he is him. We were all born differently. We were all born differently. So my definition of myself and who I am is going to be totally different. You can look at the Webster's dictionary version of what the definition of self is, and that's what I just read to you. But everybody has their own definition based upon each individual's life, because we all are different, and we grew up differently, and we know different things. We've seen different things in our lives from childhood all the way to adulthood. So my definition of myself is not going to be the same definition of yourself. I guess in general, that's what the definition of self is: just knowing who you are, being able to have a reflective vision so that you can always check yourself when it's time for you to check yourself. Always be able to put stuff in introspect. So I have leveled each thing according to what I feel like is needs to come first and which is more important, and then it leads to all of these things, all of these different things that we don't realize that we have to really keep in check. And it shouldn't really be a job, because I feel like everybody should feel nothing but love for their self. Like, who cares what they say you are? You be the person that you are, because I'm telling you, no matter what people say, the way that you shine, the way that you show that you have self-confidence and self-respect, and that is going to shine through more than what anybody else say. And people always go off of action, so what they see is what they go with. 9 times out of 10, if they see that in you, they're gonna be like, oh, so and so is just a hater. Because I feel like I enter the room before my body does. My presence is there. I mean, like, you do have some people who will still approach you in a way because they know no better. You know what I'm saying? But even in the nicest way possible, I'll be like, oh no, we can't. So self-love, I feel like, is the most important thing out of the self series, because if you don't love yourself, you will be so prone to doing things that is so degrading of yourself. You seek attention because you don't love yourself, and you feel like the only way that you can love yourself is if people is putting out their energy to make you feel wanted. And you can't always want to feel wanted by people, because sometimes that shit is just toxic. Always having to keep up with the crowd and what the crowd is doing. And if you're not doing these things, then they're not messing with you. So you got to find another crowd. Like, if you're okay with being yourself and loving yourself, then you don't have to look for a crowd. Because you will be comfortable with whatever friends that you do have. You will be comfortable if you get a new friend into your life. If you have self-love, those people are going to see that in you, and they're going to be naturally attracted to you. You don't have to try hard to fit in. You're going to fit in somewhere. It doesn't matter where. I know you want to be a part of the cool crowd, but you can't. Because your levels of love and respect for yourself is going to be down here, because now you're not doing what you want to do. You're doing what they expect you to do to hang with them. You're going to have love. You put yourself out there in a way to where everybody is going to see it. It's going to shine through, and they're not going to love you either. You're always going to deal with disrespect and bullies and stuff like that, because you don't even love yourself enough to stand up for yourself at a certain point. And I mean, like, I personally think that it's crazy that somebody can really get to that point to where they can't stand up for themselves. Like, when they get that low, like, let me just put out there, like, a cult or something like that, to where they have manipulated somebody's mind so much to where you cannot tell them that they are being victimized. They will fight you for the person that's victimizing them, for you to leave them alone. I mean, because they don't really know. And like, now that I've opened myself up to really seeing what's going on around me, and yes, I'm gonna touch on the R. Kelly thing for a minute. Like, we saw it back then. I believed that shit when I saw it. I believed when they came out and said that the family was paid off, because there is no way that you're going to be in court. They don't take you to trial and shit like that unless they have solid evidence on you. they're not going to do it just for the sake of your R. Kelly, because they can do that to anybody. So back then when the tape leaked, and then you saw the docu-series, and then you figured out why the tape leaked, and you know, I just feel like that opened up the door to show that women can really be manipulated, and so can men, because he was messed up as a little child. Ever since he was a child. And you know, I watched the interview with his brother and a blogger, and his brother was talking about the sister. You know, the sister that messed him up, and pretty much one of his statements was, you know, it kind of made him shelter himself away from the world. Like, he was distraught, he had anxiety, he had this and he had that. But he said on the other hand, he felt like the sister unleashed a monster in him. You know, so, you know, can we feel sorry for him? In a sense, yes. We can't feel sorry for him because he has been victimized. And I feel like, should he go right away in prison? Like, he has done some really bad things to some kids, man. Like, you know, like, it has to be something in your brain that clicks in regardless of, I don't know, you like, if y'all felt like that was like that back then, he should have got some counseling. I feel like they failed him. They just let him back out in the street, you know. But I'm not going to stay on that too long. But, you know, self-love is a big thing, because, you know, real love just amounts to the person who you really are. Like, who do you feel like, what's the amount of love and respect that you have for yourself? You know, but I felt like self-love was the biggest thing, because that's the thing that grows happiness, your self-happiness, and the way that you are happy in life. You know, if you have self-love, then it's going to attract wonderful things into your life, because people see that. If it's genuine, people see it and they are drawn to it. Even sometimes bad people are drawn to it. People who don't mean you no good. People who are just going to come into your life and try to play with you, but you already love yourself so much that they can't even, that it doesn't even phase you. They come off as being genuine, but you know you love yourself, so you're not going to tolerate a whole bunch of stuff. And it's just basically just going to be what the outcome of a person, the outcome of a person, that is measured by the love that you have for yourself. So after self-love, I feel like it's self-respect. Because now that you love yourself, now you can grow this level of respect for yourself, to where, you know, you will not be influenced by things that's going to degrade you. And a lot of the times, you know, like, the influences out here are so bad, because it's almost like a sneak effect. You know, people come off as being genuine, and they will know how to show so much passion and so much love for you, and they will make you feel like, I just want to live for you, breathe for you, die for you. And then somewhere in the middle of the relationship, then the sheep's clothing come off, and they start showing who they really are, and they're like, okay, well, I'm dealing with stuff in my life, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And then they make you feel like, you know, you're nothing without them, or nobody's gonna want you, or, you know. But I feel like those things are conquered just off of the level of respect that you have for yourself. And if you have respect for yourself, like I say, just like the love that you have for yourself, it will shine through. It will shine through, and people will see it. Because like I tell you, you know, when I walk into the room, you know, even if it's the most ratchetest guy, and he just probably don't have no respect for women, and all he want to do is just smash, you know what I'm saying? But he's not going to approach me like I'm a thought or something like that, or like he felt like that, because when I entered the room, he's gonna be looking at me like I don't even know how to approach her, because I'm not looking for nothing. I'm not looking around to see who's watching me. I don't really care who's watching me. I came in here to shop, and that's what I'm gonna do, you know. So if somebody approaches me and talk to me, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be stuck up, but the level of respect that I have for myself, and the things that they can say to me, is going to have a limit because I respect myself, and you're not going to say nothing degrading to a woman or degrading to me in my personal space that I'm just going to be okay and comfortable with. And that's only solely based off the level of respect that I have for myself. Not how you respect me, not how they respect me or them. It's the level of respect that I have for myself is going to be what I tolerate when somebody approaches me. That's why I tell you, the way that people look at you and the way that people, I ain't gonna even say judge. I can't say judge because they do judge you on a daily basis. But that is solely based off of yourself and what they feel like, the energy that's generating off of you. Self-respect. If you out there, I'm not saying you can't wear short skirts and stuff like that because those things are made to, but I mean, like, I feel like, me personally, it's going to be a level to my short. I'm not going to wear nothing that's just covering my butt to where I can't bend over comfortably and pick up something. And that's not just me being old, that's me respecting myself. I'm not going to bend over and have all of my booty cheeks hanging out and then not expect for a guy who passing by or something to come at me like I'm nothing. So that the level of respect that you have for yourself is it. And I just put, you yourself, as much as anyone in the entire universe, deserves your love and affection. You yourself, more than anybody in the universe, when it comes to you, deserves your love and affection more than you. You should not be out here losing yourself in somebody because you don't even have enough self-respect and self-love in order to realize that this person was not even meant for you to fall in love with. Because sometimes that happens. This person isn't even meant for you to fall in love with, but you fall in love with them anyways because your level of self-respect is here. You can't just fall in love with anybody. That is a powerful energy, man. So, I feel like the level of respect that we have for ourselves has to be like A1. And I mean, like, you have to go somewhere and sit in a fucking corner and get that through your head, like, I am worthy of it, and learn how to tell dudes no. Who cares if he's fine? You don't have to degrade yourself just for the sake of being with somebody. Y'all have to learn how to have respect for yourself. Because that's the only way that people is going to respect you. And sometimes, like I say, they can't even see that generating off of you, that you have so much respect for yourself. So that when they approach you and they say something crazy, you should have the same amount of respect for yourself that they should see when they open their mouth and say something crazy, that you can open your mouth and say, okay, I understand all of that, but we're not going to do that over here because you're going to respect me when you're talking to me, or don't talk to me. And that's just that. Don't say nothing sexual to me if this is your first encounter. You just approach me and you trying to tell me how sexy I am and stuff like that. Women don't really care about that. Real women don't really care about that. Okay, I know I'm sexy. Now what? What is going to be your thing? And that's just based off of the level of respect that you have for yourself. Because if you just fall for the you're sexy, then you're degrading yourself to a level to where they see you as something, and where you're in your mind thinking that this is going somewhere, you don't even realize that it's only supposed to be a hit it and quit it. You feel what I'm saying? So the level of respect that you have for yourself is so important, because that is going to shine through. And even if it don't shine through enough for the person to see it, when you open your mouth, they're going to know that they're going to have to respect you. And if they're going to disrespect you, they're going to have to do it from a distance. And that's fine, because you will be comfortable with that, you know. So, we have to start loving ourselves, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. You won't even have a love for your children. You know how many times I've seen people who really don't love themselves. The only thing that they really want to do is just go to the club and throw themselves around with different men just to feel loved. They don't even want to feel loved by their own children. They feel the need to feel loved by a man or a woman. So they neglect their children for that need to feel loved. Because they don't even love themselves. And if they just love themselves, they'll realize that that shit is really not even worth it. You know. So after self-respect, I feel like it's self-confidence. Because once you learn how to love yourself, once you learn how to respect yourself, your confidence level is going to be on fleek, or it's going to work its way through the levels until it gets to the point where you're so confident that when you now walk into the room, people are going to know. They're not going to even try to question it. They're not going to question it. Like, even when it comes to my social media or whatever, I'm always doing something to where it's showing my confidence, or it's showing the level of respect that people should have for me. And I mean, like, I call myself queen and I carry myself like a queen. So when people see me, it's a lot of people out here that call me that. Because I live up to that. And that's the only thing that I can do. And my level of confidence is on queen. I should make a shirt that say that. Level of confidence on queen. For real. Because, I mean, like, your confidence is everything. So self-confidence is a feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. Meaning, if you have a feeling of trust in your ability to do something, no matter how many people tell you that you should not be doing it, no matter how many people tell you that if you try to do it, it's going to fail, guess what? You know what? I think that's something that my mother hates about me. And yes, I'm talking my own business. I really feel like in my life, that is something that my mother hates about me, that I have the ability to think for myself. Because she gets to the point where she feels like we know nothing about life and that she has all of the answers. But my question is, why haven't these things worked for you? And not to say that my mother is like down in the slumps or anything like that. All I'm saying is I'm talking things that's going to make me successful. Like, do not have nearly what I want to have in life when I get your age. So I think that's one thing that she feels like I always do what I feel like needs to be done in order for my life to go in the direction that I want it to go in. And nobody can talk me out of that. Once I feel like I have the ability to do it, it's going to get done. If I ask for help, okay. If you choose not to help me, or if you drag your foot, I'm just going to pick up the pace. But I've always had the ability. You always have to know that you have to trust in your ability to accomplish anything in life that you want to accomplish. Be the person that you want to be. So your qualities, the quality of your life, the quality of your lifestyle, and the type of partner that you have and stuff like that, you have to trust it. And you can't be afraid to walk away. And I say that in the most modest way. You can, if you feel like, you know what, this person is killing the respect that you have for yourself, this person is killing your confidence, you cannot just sit there until it's all gone. You have to know that not everybody is meant for you. And you have to learn how to walk away when it's going to kill your self-confidence. Because once your confidence is gone, then you can be anybody and people can say anything that they want to say about you. Not that you really should care, but when your self-confidence is gone and when your self-respect is gone, you do care about what other people say and feel about you. Because now you feel low. The confidence is gone. So you have to learn how to walk away, because there is somebody out there for you that's going to realize that you are the type of person that love yourself and respect yourself and has great confidence, and they feel like, if I'm with this person right here, I ain't going to have nothing to worry about because she carry or he carry himself like that. Like you love yourself, like you respect yourself, like you got freaking confidence in yourself. In judgment, like judgment, you should be able to judge yourself before anybody else does. And that is the problem that we have. We don't judge ourselves enough. And that's why we take so much offense to the shit that people say. That's why the judgment of other people hurt your feelings. Me personally, if I don't feel like that's me, or I don't feel like it's a personal attack, I don't care what you say. Bitch, hoe, slut. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't care. Because when people who approach me in that way because of something that they heard, which haven't I have to say I haven't had that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have people come and tell me like, oh, this person said this and this person said that. I don't even entertain it. I don't even care. So, you have to judge yourself first, because if you're able to judge yourself and judge yourself honestly, then you will not care of the judgment of others. It won't even bother you, because you've already judged yourself. You know what you have to fix, and you have the ability to fix it. And little do they know, while they're out here fucking judging you, that you're already aware of it and that you're fixing it. And then when they look around again, you're gonna be a whole nother person. But you have to have the ability to do that oneself. So, I wrote notes that said, wanting to be somebody else is a waste of the person that you are. And that is so true. And I just spoke about that during the self-love, self-respect, that you try so hard to fit in. Stop trying to fit in. Have the confidence to be yourself, and you come shining through, and let people see that you are very capable of being yourself, because there's nothing more powerful than self. So I feel like after self-confidence comes self-worth. It says, it's the measures of the value you have for yourself, knowing your worth. And that just goes back to, what people will and will not do when it comes to you. And that is totally up to you, because you have to know your worth, and you have to know that you're worth it. And that is going to be what determines what you take in your life and what you're not going to be able to tolerate, because you know your worth. And you have the confidence in yourself, and you trust in your abilities and your quality and the judgment of yourself and the stuff that you do, that you don't have to even put up with BS. Self-worth is like all of those topics balled up into one. Love, respect, and confidence is what builds self-worth. And as long as you know your worth, like I tell people all the time, like, I'm not stuck up, I'm not bougie, and none of that. And I love different kinds of flowers. I love different kinds of flowers. I do. But I feel like when somebody's apologizing to you, when they're bringing you flowers, based on the kind of flowers that they bring, determines the type of genuineness their apology has. That is solely my opinion. Because I feel like this, I can feel bad about something, and where I might not feel like I did too much damage to make that person upset or something like that. I might go pick up a cute little arrangement with some daisies and stuff in it. But if I'm apologizing to my significant other, somebody that I love, somebody that I cherish, somebody, I'm getting roses, okay? And I'm trying to get the best roses, long stem roses with all of the little prickly thorns in it. Like, they good roses if you get your fingers tore up by thorns in them. That shows the level of what you're trying to say. And that's just my opinion. So, I feel like, a person will know your self-worth. It will come shining through. And if they don't know, you going to have the confidence and the respect for yourself and the love for yourself to tell them. Like, no, that's not where it's at. That's not where it's at. We not doing that. because you feel worthy of yourself. I feel worthy of myself to wear this title. And I let people know all the time. I don't know. It's probably going to be some people that's watching this video that will probably, hopefully, leave a damn comment. But, like, oh no, I pump their brakes real quick. Even if they be like, well, I just want to get to know you. The minute that you make me feel like you being messy, oh, I'm going to minus myself from that equation quick. You will be hitting me up in the inbox like, why you delete me? I'm like, you lucky it was a delete and not a whole block. Because you was pretty cool, but you had started being messy, and where I thought you was gonna draw back the messiness, you kept going to Messyville. So I'm gonna let you know that, you know what, I'm not gonna even go back and forth with you for the next 3 weeks trying to explain to you why I'm worthy of this and why you shouldn't do that. And I'm not telling you not to do it, but if you're gonna do it over there. Do it over there. Don't come over here with that man. That's the type of worthy that I feel like we all should be at. And that's where I'm at. And, so I'm really comfortable with myself. And I don't feel like I really could be speaking this message if I was not comfortable with myself. And I'm telling you, like, a lot of people that know me, that have encountered me, whether it's been encountering me through physical face-to-face or over the telephone or over the text message, no matter how they have encountered me, they will tell you that, oh yeah, zero games. And I had people call me mean, and I'm like, I'm not mean. I'm not mean. I'm just trying to avoid it's not necessary for a lot of stuff that could happen if I know that you are not meant for me. I know that we don't have nothing in common. So therefore there's always going to be a conflict. So why even get myself involved? I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I don't have the patience to argue with you. It's either if we argue, are we going to get this shit straight? At the end of the argument, what is the result? Have we resolved anything? Have we come to a conclusion? Like, if I cannot do that, I'm not going to spend 6 months arguing with anybody. Because we don't have nothing in common, and we shouldn't have even gotten to it anyways, because my self-worth determines the standards that I have and the things that I expect from the opposite sex when they're trying to talk to me. Now, I don't mind having friendly conversation, but it never just can be that with guys. When they jump into my inbox, it starts out with friendly conversation. Hi, how you doing? I can understand that I'm single, so I'm single, so they feel like, okay, well, you're single, I'm single, we can get to know each other. And where I'm open to that. I am so open to that. But I can tell within the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of talking to somebody, whether or not I'm going to deal with them. Because back then when I was young, I used to see the red flags, and I used to brush them off. Ha ha ha. We used to laugh them off because we're young and we're young-minded. But now when I see the red flags, I'll be like, okay, see, that right there is going to be a problem. And especially if you done did it more than one time, I'm sitting there like typing back like, oh, okay, yeah. And then my responses are going to get shorter to the point where you left on red. And let's just not get too excited and start talking crazy, because I'm still like, okay, you were cool and we're not going to take it past this point. That way we can still be Facebook friends, because a lot of the guys, I don't even really know them like that. So, your self-worth will speak volumes for the person that you are and the way that you come off and your presence and your aura when it walks into the room. And I wrote, some people's self-worth is measured by their income or material possessions. When you measure self-worth by income, you will never feel valuable entirely. So basically, like, people feel like if they don't have the latest sneakers, or if they don't have the latest car or nice car, and if they're not making a certain amount of figures, and it's nothing wrong with that, but you cannot measure your worth around that. Like now it's not self-worth, it's net worth. And you cannot live off of that, because if you live off of that, that is what's going to shine through, and people are going to use you for your net worth, because that's what you throw out there in order to be liked. You can't throw money around and to please friends just for them to stick around, and you feel like this is who you need around you to be the person that you're supposed to be, because now you're just pretending and you're being who they want you to be, and that says volumes for self. You have no self-love, no self-respect, no self-confidence. Your self-worth is little to none. So you have to be aware of these different areas of yourself, because if you're lacking one, then your definition of self changes, where it's supposed to be like she or he is a king, she is a queen, because that's what they see when they see you. Telling you, I don't care what people are out here saying about you, regardless of what they say. Oh, he a hoe, she a hoe. Guess what? When people see you, if they don't see it, when they encounter you, if you have all of those things, you possess all of those things, you're serious about all of those things, when you open your mouth, they're gonna already know, like, my bad, you know what I'm saying? Despite of what they hear, guess what? Those people are gonna start to look like haters. So after self-worth, it's sort of self-worth and self-esteem is pretty much the same thing to me, but in a different way, because your worth is just based off of, what you feel like you're worth, and not in dollars. Some, like I say, people who feel like the kind of income they have or the materialistic things that they possess. Like me, I like shoes. I like jewelry, and I like a lot of the costume jewelry that's cute, representing for Africa, man. I got a lot of natural pro-black jewelry. I do. I have a few real pairs, but I love things that's always gonna express something. If I put gold in my ears with damn cubic zirconia in it, all it is a gold earring with a cubic zirconia in it. But this represents a culture to me. This represents my culture. So, I like things. I'm not even really materialistic. I like shoes and costume jewelry. I do. I do. If I go in the store, it's my weakness. So, but I know how to distinguish, like, if I'm doing it because I want it and I feel like it's an expression of me, or am I trying to out here trying to break my damn neck to buy the new Jordans because the people who I hang with feel some type of way about the shoes that I wear, or I can't, if I don't wear Jordans, I can't hang with them. I can't be wearing no Adidas because they don't do Adidas. So I'm just not that type of person. I can get the damn Jordans from 2000 and rock them, because I don't feel like it is what Jordan you have, is how you rock that shoe. I can get some shoes from Walmart and make it look good. So I'm not a materialistic person. When people ask me what you want for your birthday, I feel like when you go in a store and you see something and you be like, oh, that remind me of her, oh, I'll get that for her, she gonna like that. I feel like that has more of a sentimental value than what I want you to get. You feel what I'm saying? I would cherish that. And not to say that I wouldn't cherish something that I tell you that I want. I really would, but I like sentimental value in things. I love the sentimental value in things. So self-esteem, is confidence in one's own worth or abilities, or is self-respect. So it says the worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. And that is so true. And I have experienced that in life, where I wasn't comfortable with myself. So I knew the feeling of not being able to be comfortable with other people. People used to hit me up, oh, let's hang out. People used to hit me up like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Let me holler at you. Let me take you on a date. And if I'm not comfortable with myself, regardless of whether I'm paying for this date or not, I'm not going to go. because that's something right there that I don't need. Because now if I'm uncomfortable, that means I'm in an uncomfortable situation. I don't know, it could be anything, living, driving, anything. It can be anything, and I'm not comfortable, and I'm not going to be comfortable dealing with people and being around people until I fix the problem. And like you have to be comfortable with yourself, because that's just like, you're not going to be able to trust anybody if you're not comfortable with yourself. If you don't have self-worth, self-love, self-esteem, you're not going to be able to love anybody, because you're going to be trying so hard to be working on these things with yourself. And I don't feel like you should be doing that when you're already in a relationship. And I'm not saying that it's that no baggage is going to come into the new relationship, but you should not be bringing all of your baggage for somebody to deal with, and then you sugarcoat it, because now this person is coming to your life and you feel a sense of comfort, you feel a sense of love, and you feel the things that you feel like you're lacking. But then you realize, even though you're getting love from this person that just entered your life, the real emptiness comes because you were uncomfortable with yourself in the beginning, and the love that you're seeking, it was not even from this person. This person is supposed to be a plus. The love you seeking from somebody else in your life, your family or your friends or something like that. So you're still going to have an emptiness there. And I don't feel like all of that burden should be put onto a person, because then that's when you begin to drag people's self-esteem down and make them feel less worthy. Because now when they come into your life, and even no matter how much of the stuff that they try to change when it comes to the baggage that you're bringing over, they start to feel less worthy, because now they feel like they can't do anything to help you. We have a big influence on each other and the way that we are as men and women. And it's all based off of these things that we have to correct with ourselves first before we can even go and deal with anybody else. If you're not straight with your self-love and your self-respect and your self-esteem and your self-worth, how can you go over here and say anything to anybody else about their self-worth and their self-esteem is low and stuff like that? You have to fix your own first before you can go over here and talk anything to another person. Everything starts with self. Even communication. In relationships, even good communication starts with self. You have to be willing to be a bigger person sometimes. And when you're the bigger person, you have a better argument than the argument that y'all are in. You have a better argument because you're like, look, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm allowing you to talk. I need you to allow me to talk. Don't cut me off until you have to learn how to talk with people with respect and stuff like that. But sometimes, based off of your self-respect and the love that you have for yourself, because it's going to show when you're in an argument, the shit that you say to people is going to be based off of self-love and self-respect. Because if you have self-love and you have self-respect, then if you're with somebody in a relationship and y'all have put a title on it, then you would have a level of love and respect for that person for that crazy shit not to even come out of your mouth. You will not say all kind of crazy blind shit and then want to try to go and be back in a good relationship with this person because now y'all done made up, but he done heard or she done heard all the crazy hurtful dumb shit you said when y'all were really arguing. So, self-esteem plays a big part in that, because your level of self-esteem is gonna be really the basis of where the argument and the level of disrespect goes. Because if you already feel low about yourself, somebody can say the slightest thing. It don't even have to be a really bad thing. It can be the slightest thing to you. And because your self-esteem is so low, it's going to be like, and it was something small. All kind of drama and all kind of mess. People who have low self-esteem are the people who cause all of the fucking drama in the world. It's millionaires out here who have low self-esteem. You would think that their self-esteem would be high because they have money. That shit don't work like that. They have low self-esteem and they out here trying to tear people down because they're not happy. And you have to learn how to distinguish what's going to make you happy and what's making you sad. And you need to eliminate that shit from your life even if it's a loved one. Mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, anything that's toxic in your life, anybody who's toxic in your life, get rid of them. Or you need to learn how to start setting those boundaries and those fucking lines that they are not to cross. And if you start setting those lines into place, if you start setting those lines into place, guess what? They're going to see those lines. They're going to know those lines are there. Or it's going to be to the point where they're going to do something or say something to where you have to set the line there by opening your mouth and telling them that it's a boundary here. And then those people are going to be like, oh, okay. And it's either they're going to respect your boundaries or you're not going to hear from them no more. And that means they were toxic anyways. They were not meant for you. And you need to learn how to get those people out of your life. You cannot have a successful life, a good life, if you have all kind of toxic shit around you. And I am telling y'all this from experience. Because I don't know where I would be if I did not get rid of toxic family members. Because I'm telling you, no lie, I have some friends right now that I consider more family than some of my family. And I mean, like, I really don't care who feel like that's messed up. Because it is what it is. I owe people that's not my blood family more respect than I feel like I owe some of my family. Like, I'm going to always respect my family to a certain extent. Like, just, watch what you do. But, with that being said, we have to be in touch and in tune with ourselves. We have to possess all of these things, because if we don't, it's going to lead to my last topic, which is self-destruction. I know somebody who tried to take her life because she, instead of having self-love and self-respect and self-confidence and self-everything, she was like, well, the people are already out here saying all of this shit about me, so I might as well do it, to the point where it drove her to swallowing pills. And she almost lost her life. And after having stuff done to her to remove the pills from her stomach and shit like that, she was like, I never want to go through that again. And I started talking to her from there, like, you're beautiful. Like, telling it, pushing that. Like, you are beautiful, girl. Don't you ever lose your self-destruction? To know that everything in your life has crumbled and you don't have nobody to blame but yourself. And it's normally when we get to the level of self-destruction is when we realize all of these things that we should be taking a little bit more of an effort into realizing that we have a problem with these things and that we need to fix them. Because everything starts with self. Everything starts with self. You do not want to end up at self-destruction, because then your quality of life is going to go down. And you're the only person who knows how to dig yourself out of that hole, and you can't do it, especially when you're already down. You don't have a choice, another choice, but to change your mind frame, to change your train your thought process, so that you can start having more positive thoughts and dig yourself out of that hole. Because I'm telling you, no matter what your karma is, no matter what you did to get that karma, you can always reverse it. You can always put a good karma on top of that, and it's going to take away some of that bad karma off of you, and that's when you start to feel the shit lift up off of your shoulder. It's never too late to be a different person. It's never too late to be a different person. No matter if people always say, oh, she's stuck in her ways, she ain't gonna never be no different. It's never too late to be a different person, but all of that shit starts with you. You have to be comfortable with you. You have to love you. You have to respect you. You have to feel like your self-worth is on fleek, okay? So I really felt like I needed to do this video because, like I said, I have spoken to several of my Facebook friends, Instagram friends, and like honestly, since I've been doing these videos, I've been having a lot of people reach out to me anonymously, and I do respect these people, and even people that I don't know. If I'm going to tell a story for you or anything like that, you can trust and believe that I have your best interests at heart, your privacy. But I do want the message to get out there because you never know who's going through the same things as these people are. And I've been in some really tough situations to where I had to realize, oh my God, like I don't know if this is going to be too much for me. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff I don't do because I just feel like it's too much, and I don't even want to know about that situation because I don't feel like I have the capability of helping certain people that reach out to me. And I don't want to pass their information on to somebody else for them to give their opinion of it because they asked me for mine. But I will let them know straight up, like, I feel like that's a little bit too much for me. Like, I really feel like you should reach out to somebody who has a license. Because I am no way, shape, or form a psychiatrist. I am none of that. I'm just solely speaking and giving my opinion to the things that I am saying to you based off of life experiences. And like I tell you, I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done in my life. I've always carried myself in a certain way. And I've always had people that tell me, ever since back then, I have people who tell me that all the time because I always knew in some way, shape, or form, regardless of whether I was doing young shit or not. I always knew in some way, shape, or form who I wanted to be as a person, and I stuck with that. And until this day, it has not led me wrong. I don't care what y'all feel about me. I don't care what y'all think about me. Just know who I am. So a lot, even if things are being said about me, I don't know because they don't never say it in my presence. I can date somebody in Beaufort County, and anybody that I've dealt with in Beaufort County will not have nothing bad to say about me unless it's one of my exes and they don't want to see you with me. Because I am this person that I am putting out here to y'all. I walk in this truth. I talk this truth and I walk in this truth. And I mean, like, I'm not saying that, like it's the truth. I'm just saying it's my truth. You don't have to agree with me. I am totally fine with that because everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But I am too. And that's why I'm putting it out here. And that's why I'm telling you we have to love ourselves because we have to start loving one another. Our communities need us. Our children need us. And I'm not just talking about your own children. I'm talking about my children need you. You see them out there picking up. Your children need me. Because if I see little kids out here doing some stuff that I know they don't have no business doing, guess what? I'm going to say something. And if I know the parents and I know how to get in touch with the parents, I will let them know this is what I saw. Because you don't want to be from in another area away from your child and they out here doing stuff where they're disrespecting themselves and disrespecting you as a parent and disrespecting the law. You don't want that to be them. So it takes a village to raise these children, especially when there's not good influences in our communities. They have nothing positive that will change who they are and the road that they're going down because the only thing that these kids are left with in the urban communities is people who are trying to put pistols in their hands. And where I'm not saying, I can't really say it's a good thing. But, where we have to protect our communities, our children, our young children should not have to be worrying about that. How they going to survive, if this person is going to get them, if that person is going to get them. So I have a journey that I'm on. I'm still in the process of setting everything up. I'm the type of person where I'm like, I'm not going to wait until I have it all figured out. I'm going to start taking steps now. I got a petition out here on iPetitions.com, iPetitions.com, iPetitions with an S.com, /petitions, /by -back -the -block. You have to go to iPetitions and sign my petition. This is going to allow me to get a goal. I have a goal of 1,000 names. I want to be able to get a small repair license so that I can get members in our community, volunteers. I will try to eventually make it to where I can pay my volunteers. But I'm asking that we get together and start thinking about going in and fixing up our neighborhoods, fixing up broken boards in our elderly houses. We don't want them to hurt themselves. They've lived a life and they've went through stuff so that we can live. Help them buy their medication where they're only living check to check. Put positive influences back into our neighborhoods, recreation centers, big brother, little sister programs, big brother, big sister programs. You know, put that back into the community, tutoring our children, helping them understand what they're doing in school so that they have a better influence outside of school. They'll start to have goals and they'll start to have dreams and they'll go and want to do things with their life because they're our future. So they have to be educated in order for us to have the freaking level of customer service that we're accustomed to today. We have to do it ourselves. Buy back the block. Please go to my channel, like, subscribe, share my videos, comment. If you disagree, tell me that you disagree. Tell me why you disagree so that we can talk about it. Because my final result is for us to reunite as a people, as a community, and take care of each other. I'm at 55 minutes on this video. I'm not going to stay too much longer. Everything starts with self. Is somebody out here that needs to hear this message? Share this video. Share this video. Like, subscribe. When you subscribe, hit the little bell that will give you notifications when I upload videos, when I go live. I'm going to be putting out more videos because I feel like there's so much for us to talk about. And you know what's so crazy is I thought I was just going to do this little toxic relationships videos. It was 2 of them. I thought I was going to do that and move on to the money. But since I've been doing this, so many people have hit me up and there's so many things that I feel like I want to say to us so that we can become better as a nation, period. You know, and I mean, like, it takes everybody, all races and everything. You know, but we are the people that have less of the positive influence. And I feel like we have to get back better at that. So until the next time, I truly love y'all. I appreciate the love and all of the love that I've been getting. I appreciate y'all for responding. I appreciate y'all for believing in me that I will give you the best advice possible. If I need to speak on something and you don't agree with something that I said, we can talk about it. But until the next time, you guys, I love y'all. Love one another. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Peace.